Hello guys, so finally I got some time to create a new tutorial for my YouTube channel. So, I am going to show you how I created that vegetable chopping animation in Blender. So, we are using this IK hand rig, which is really good for this kind of animations. And some basic object to start the process like the cutting board and our camera, which I roughly matched with the reference we have. Before starting the animation, we need to parent that knife to our hand bone. I am just aligning the knife roughly with hand rotation and using child of constraints to parent it to the hand. I get into pose mode to copy the name of hand's IK bone and paste it to the constraint. Now we can start posing the hands. I am trying to roughly match the pose with the reference. After doing the first pose, the rest is not that difficult. I am using a sphere for placeholder tomato. And now we have to adjust our pose more. The pose should supposed to look natural and relaxed, but we can cheat a little by stretching and scaling the bone to get a good look through our camera. Keep that in mind, it can be a little challenging to get the pose right with only rig. You can alter the shape of the hands with shape keys. Now for our tomato animation, we are using that simple rig to help us get a squash effect while cutting it. And there is a half tomato model to cheat the cutting tomato. We don't really need to cut it, we just need to show the tomato is getting chopped. Now we are going to start out animation. Select all bones and press I add location, rotation, and scale keyframes. Go to timeline, press T and change interpolation to constant interpolation. Now we need to change our poses as per our reference. After adding all keyframe, change the animation type to Bezier. We need to animation the tomato rig as well. I am going to parent the tomato to the knife with child of constraint, and then I am adding keyframes to Y icon. So the tomato only move after a certain frame. Now for our shading, we need a vertex color mask to separate our hands and nail shader. I am using an attribute node to use this vertex group in our shader. I have two color ramp on this cell shader. The one is for the hand skin and other is for nails. And we are separating them using the vertex color mask. I am using a gradient texture to get a little brightness in front area of hands. The board shader is very simple. For the tomato shader, I am using layer weight to add a shiny highlight over it. For the knife shader, I am using a gradient to create a fake shadow and a fake light effect, which is controlled by two empties. I am using the white noise texture to add a grain effect on our knife. To get some edge shine, I am using cavity effect from geometry nodes with noise texture. I am creating another layer to use different lights on our tomato, and it won't affect out hand lighting. For the background objects, I am using some very basic cell shaders. I created in backed grease pencil and put in on another layer because of holdout objects. And using dot dash modifier to get much better look. I added a particle system to knife and board for droplets effect. I am marking the hands as holdout in tomato layer and tomato in hand layer. And enable the Z, AO, and crypto matte object passes. Now we are going to use these three layers in our compositor. I am multiplying the AO to our main layer and combining the hand and tomato layer with alpha over node. And for our outline layer, I am masking the knife and tomato with our CryptoMatte node because I don't need outlines on these objects. So that was the full process how I created that animation. I hope you liked that video. Thanks for watching.